A gas station can have dozens of cars stopping every hour, millions of dollars moving through the pumps, and yet the owner may make surprisingly little money from the gasoline itself. So where does the money actually come from? If you think the owner gets rich every time someone fills up their tank, there's a good chance you're missing the most important part of the business. Because a gas station isn't really just a place that sells gas. It's a business built around traffic, convenience, and everything a customer buys after they pull off the road. Think about the last time you stopped at a gas station. Maybe you needed fuel. You pulled up to the pump, filled your tank, paid, and drove away. But what if you also grabbed a drink? Maybe a snack. Maybe a coffee. Maybe something you suddenly realized you needed from the convenience store. That simple stop is the foundation of the gas station business. The basic product is obvious: fuel. Gas stations buy fuel from suppliers and sell it to drivers. But customers aren't really visiting because they love buying gasoline. They're buying it because their car needs it. And that creates something extremely valuable for the business: regular demand. People drive to work. They take their kids to school. They run errands. They travel. And eventually, they need to refuel. That means the gas station sits right in the middle of a routine that millions of drivers repeat. But there's another important reason people stop: convenience. A driver may not want to make a separate trip to a supermarket just to buy a bottle of water or a snack. If those products are sitting a few steps away from the pump, the decision becomes easy. And this is where the business model starts to change. The gas brings the customer through the door. The convenience store gives the business another chance to make money. Now imagine a driver pulling into a gas station. They plan to spend money on fuel. But while they're there, they see cold drinks, snacks, coffee, food, basic car supplies, or other products. The customer came for one thing. The business has an opportunity to sell several. That is one of the most important ideas behind the economics of a gas station. Fuel creates traffic. The store tries to turn that traffic into additional sales. And the money can come from several different places. The first is fuel sales. A station buys gasoline or diesel and sells it to customers. But here's where things get interesting. The amount of money flowing through the pumps can look huge because fuel is expensive and customers buy it in meaningful quantities. But sales aren't the same thing as profit. The station has to pay for the fuel it sells. So the owner isn't simply keeping the full amount a customer pays at the pump. The station earns a margin on the fuel, and that margin can be affected by many things, including competition, fuel prices, location, and market conditions. Now compare that with the convenience store. A customer buying a snack or drink is making a completely different kind of purchase. The store buys the product, puts it on the shelf, and sells it for more than its cost. The difference helps cover operating expenses and, if the business is run well, contributes to profit. This is why the store can be such an important part of the business. And then there are other services. Depending on the location, a gas station may offer things like car washes, air for tires, ATMs, food service, or other convenience services. Not every station offers all of these, but the basic idea is the same. If customers are already there, what else can the business provide that they are willing to pay for? Now let's look at what happens to the money coming in. Running a gas station isn't cheap. First, there's the fuel itself. The station has to purchase the gasoline or diesel before it can sell it. Then there is the property. The owner may own the location, lease it, or operate under another arrangement. There are also employees. Someone has to run the register, stock shelves, clean the store, handle deliveries, and keep the operation running. Then you have electricity, maintenance, insurance, security, equipment, payment processing, and other operating costs. And there's something especially important underground: fuel storage. Gas stations need specialized equipment and systems to safely store and deliver fuel. That equipment needs maintenance and must meet applicable rules and requirements. So when you look at a gas station, you're really looking at two connected businesses. There's the fuel operation outside, and there's the convenience business inside. The two support each other. The pumps bring people in. The store tries to increase the value of each visit. But there's another challenge. Gas stations operate in a highly competitive environment. A driver usually has choices. Maybe there are 3 stations within a few minutes of each other. So why choose one instead of another? Price matters. But price isn't everything. Location matters. Convenience matters. Cleanliness matters. How easy it is to get in and out matters. The quality of the store matters. And for some customers, loyalty programs or rewards can make a difference. Think about your own behavior. If one gas station is directly on your route, easy to enter, easy to leave, and has a store you like, you may keep going there even if another station is slightly cheaper. That is customer behavior. And understanding it is a huge part of running the business. A gas station owner isn't only watching fuel prices. They're watching traffic. They're watching what customers buy. They're watching which products move quickly. They're watching which products sit on the shelf. And they're trying to figure out how to make each customer visit more valuable. This is where upselling comes in. Someone comes in for fuel. They see a coffee, then a snack, then maybe something else. The customer doesn't necessarily feel like they're being sold a complicated product. They're simply buying things that are convenient. But from the business owner's point of view, that small extra purchase can matter because it happens on top of the customer's original reason for stopping. Now, what about recurring revenue? A gas station doesn't usually work like a gym or streaming service where every customer pays a monthly subscription. The recurring part is different. It's the repeated need for fuel. A driver may come back again and again because they drive regularly. Businesses with vehicle fleets can also create repeat demand for fuel. And loyalty or rewards programs can give customers another reason to return to the same station. So instead of thinking about one customer buying 1 tank of gas, the owner is thinking about the lifetime of that customer's visits. One stop is small. Repeated stops can become much more valuable. And this leads to another question. How does a gas station grow? One way is simply to attract more customers. A better location can help. A stronger convenience store can help. More useful services can help. Better customer experience can help. And some operators grow by owning or operating multiple locations. Now imagine an owner who has one successful station. They understand the operation. They know how to manage employees. They know what customers want. They understand their costs. They have systems in place. If they can successfully repeat that model at other locations, the business can become much larger. But scaling isn't automatic. Every new location brings new costs, new competition, new employees, and new risks. And one of the biggest risks in the gas station business is something the owner cannot fully control: fuel prices. The price of gasoline can move because of changes in oil markets, supply, demand, transportation, and other factors. A station has to manage its business while those conditions change. Competition can also put pressure on prices. If another station nearby lowers its price, customers may notice. And if a station tries to charge too much, drivers have other options. Then there's the convenience store. Inventory has to be managed carefully. Too little product and customers may leave disappointed. Too much product and money can sit on shelves instead of being used elsewhere. Labor costs can also change. Maintenance problems can appear. Equipment can fail. And because a gas station is often open for long hours, keeping the operation running smoothly can be a constant challenge. So now we can see the real economics. A gas station can have a lot of sales activity without having huge profits from every sale. The business has to manage margins. It has to control costs. It has to attract traffic. And it has to make each customer visit valuable. Here's the part most people probably don't think about. When you see a long line of cars at a gas station, your first thought might be, they must be making a fortune. But a busy station isn't automatically a highly profitable station. The owner has to look at what's happening underneath the sales numbers. How much did the fuel cost? How much did the store inventory cost? What did employees cost? What did rent, utilities, insurance, maintenance, and other expenses cost? And after all of that, what's left? That's the real business question. And this is why revenue can be misleading. A business can sell a huge amount and still have tight margins. Another business might have fewer customers but earn more from each customer, or control its costs better. The economics depend on the entire system. And that's the biggest lesson from owning a gas station. The business isn't simply about selling gasoline. Gasoline gets drivers to stop. The convenience store creates another opportunity. Repeat customers create ongoing demand. Additional services can create more revenue. And careful cost control determines how much of that revenue can actually become profit. So the next time you pull into a gas station, look beyond the price on the sign. Look at the cars. Look at the store. Look at what customers are buying. Look at how the business is positioned. Because you're not just looking at a place that sells fuel. You're looking at a business designed around one powerful idea. Get the customer to stop, make the visit convenient, and give them more reasons to come back. That's the economics of owning a gas station. If you found this interesting, subscribe to Business Anatomy for more videos breaking down how real businesses make money.